beginning of Ramadan is Rahmah. The Rahmah comes in, as we described, that all the doors of Rahmah are open and the Rahmah pours in. Then that's 10 days that I used to get to take the Rahmah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then that's followed by the next 10 days, which I think ends tomorrow. And that is Maghfirah. As you know, Allah, if you read the Quran very often, you'll see that Ghafur Rahim are always together, the forgiving and the merciful. So they come hand in hand. So Allah's Rahmah, Allah's Maghfirah. And the Maghfirah, if you, linguistically speaking, Ghifar is something that covers something. It's as though when you make a sin, you are exposed. So istighfar brings something that covers. If you share this tone, then you put something to patch it up. That's what istighfar is like. It is a cover for the exposure that you expose yourself to. So that's what istighfar. Itqi minan nar is the whole solution. You are completely, fully freed from fire. Fire will have no more power over you. You don't need any. And that's why I said that on the day of judgment, that before you, on the way to Jannah, you have to go through the fire. وَإِن مِّنكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا وَكَانَ عَلَى رَبِّكَ حَتْمًا مَقْضِيًّا ثُمَّ نُنَجِّي الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا وَنَذَرُ الظَّالِمِينَ فِيهَا جِثِيًّا. There's no one among you but must come to fire. إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا. That is a decree decided by God. But as everybody enters the fire, we take out those who have taqwa. And we leave the rest there. So everybody comes in, one believer, non-believer, with taqwa, without taqwa. But those who have taqwa, so that's the point of itqu minan nar, that's taqwa. If Allah gave you taqwa, He has freed you from fire. Fire of dunya, fire of akhirah, any kind of fire. You are safe from it. Because fire has many, many kinds. Jahannam is the big fire, and Narul Kubra. But Narul Sughra, there are many kind of small fires, problems, and all the things that you go through. It's all fire. It's all symptoms of fire in your life. But if you have taqwa, you are freed from all kind of fire. That's why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked Allah, "Ati nafsi taqwaha, anta waliyuha wa mawlaha." Allah, give my nafs, it is taqwa. Give my nafs that which will completely free it. Make my nafs free. Free from any type of tribulation, any type of bala. So that's what itqum minan nar, this last 10 days is about. To strive hard to have that taqwa before the month ends. So keep that as your goal in the next 10 days. You want to achieve taqwa, you want to achieve that certificate of freedom from fire. In your du'as, repeat this dua that I just mentioned. Allahumma ati nafsi taqwaha, anta waliyuha wa mawlaha wa zakkiha fa innaka anta khayru man zakkaha. Allahumma inni as'aluka al-huda wa tuqa wal afafa wal ghina. Such kind of du'as, you should constantly be saying it in your prayer, in your sujood, in particular. That's the time that you are most close to God. So don't forget to ask Allah for taqwa. Taqwa that will free you, inshallah, from the tribulation of the fire. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, ليس الغنى بكثرة المال والمتاع ولكن الغنى غنى النفس. That being rich, and richness in Arabic has the same meaning as being content and satisfied. It's called wal-ghina. As though true richness is being content within yourself. Because somebody can be rich in property, in possessions, but his heart is not, his heart is greedy, his heart is not satisfied and content. So it's as though he has nothing. Somebody has very little, but Allah puts contentment in their hearts, and they seem that they have everything. So it does not matter. He said richness is not by having too much property, but by your heart being content and satisfied. And that's one of the qualities of taqwa. When Allah gives you taqwa, it gives you that istighna, al-istighna billah. You feel content with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and everything that Allah has given you. It takes that dhul of al-hirs, the humiliation that comes with greed. When somebody is greedy, he also has to lower himself and humbles before his fellow creatures, before Allah. That's the point. That's different from being humble out of taqwa. So dhullul hirs or tama' and hirs, greed, it brings you that dhul, that humiliation and lack of respect for yourself. But al-ghina brings you izz. When somebody is content, they have izzah. They have dignity and honor. Because their contentment is in their heart. It's not something in their hands. This also comes along with the same taqwa. That's why I said that it's from all kind of fire. Fire of tama', fire of hirs, fire of jasha', fire of naham, fire of all kind of fires that keep driving you, that keep making you restless. Because if your heart is not content, you're constantly restless. That's what Allah describes the state of the hellfire, or fire in general. We're talking about fire in general. Fire by nature, what does it do? It consumes. It doesn't preserve anything. Whatever you put in fire, fire eats it. If you put in water, water will preserve it. You put in fire, eats it. So that's the example of the nafs that has no taqwa. It just keeps burning. And of course, you try to it's asking for more things from you. And when you give those things to them, it makes it burn more. As you know, firewood doesn't make it, if fire wants firewood, you give firewood, it doesn't make it burn less, it makes it burn more. So the same thing your nafs, your soul. The more it asks from you and the more you give it to it, the more it becomes stronger. It becomes more and more and more, it becomes more. So that's not the way to go. That's a way of shaqa. You will not be happy that way. The way to find happiness, which begins by have peace of mind. Peace of mind. This is the beginning of true happiness. You have peace of mind. That means itmi'nan in Quranic language. Your heart to be to settle down. So taqwa is the means for all of that. This is the only solution that you have for this problem of the nafs. This taqwa. Hence God joined them in Surah Al-Shams. وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. Since Allah, at the very beginning, when Allah created the nafs, sawaha, He presented two things. Taqwa is here, fujur is here. If you take taqwa, this is your path to happiness and fulfillment. The opposite of taqwa is called fujur, or tughyan, or udwan. That's the path of hardship. فَأَمَّا مَنْ أَعْتَى وَاتَّقَى وَصَدَّقَ بِالْحُسْنَى فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْيُسْرَى. So yusra and usra. What taqwa is, you can see, is at the middle. أَعْتَى وَاتَّقَى and وَصَدَّقَ. One who gives and have taqwa, meaning that, and be content with God. وصدق becomes the natural outcome. Taqwa, then to believe truly in the promise of God. So صدق mean بالحسنى بوعد الله الصادق. Then we will show that person the easy path. And the opposite of أما من كذب, فأما من كذب, so فأما من بخل, which is the opposite of أعطى, one who is stingy, is that one who doesn't give. But there's a reason why one is stingy. One is stingy because the person believes that his satisfaction lies in what he possesses. That's why he holds on to it with all his heart. If he knew that his satisfaction and contentment lies in something else, he will have no problem parting with what he has. So it's a mental process. It's the way you are thinking. That's how you behave. So, أعطى واتقى وصدق بالحسنى, then التيسير. بخل, this is the opposite of أعطى, واستغنى. Istighna means to find fulfillment or contentment, satisfaction in what you have. واستغنى. استغنى بماله, بولده, so finding istighna, finding contentment, satisfaction in what he has. So the natural consequence of all of that, كذب بالحسنى. In the end, that person doesn't believe in God's promise. The promise that says that God says, if you give one, I give you 10 to 700. To an infinity. That's what God says. And God says that you cannot outdo me in generosity. No human being can. You don't have that much anyway. God has everything. So you cannot give more than God. You must believe in that. You cannot be more generous than God. So if you show generosity, God will show His generosity to you by multiples. أضعافاً مضاعف. So once you believe in that, then giving in God's way becomes very easy for you. If you don't believe in that, then the natural outcome is that you will be holding back. So this is your opportunity for this year, because you don't know whether next Ramadan will find you here. Don't miss out on this coming last 10 days. Do your best to gain the taqwa with giving, prayer, every kind deed that you can do in these last 10 days. Inshallah, asking Allah to grant you that taqwa that will liberate your soul and your heart from the prison of fire. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لنفسي